I managed to get hired by George Merrick my first day down here.
Well, ain't that just the berries? That your heap out there?
Yes, I was given a company car this morning.
Hate to imagine what company it's been keeping.
What's that supposed to mean?
I just figured a high-profile guy like Merrick could afford something nicer, is all.
It's been great catching up with you, Bo, but I really should get going. How long are you planning on being in town for?
Well, actually, I was considering moving down here too.
Really? You're gonna leave Mother alone?
She'll be fine. She's got plenty of friends in the neighborhood. Besides, it's gotten to the point where I'm feeling like more of a burden than a help.
And she's actually letting little baby Bo come down here on his own?
Knock it off, will ya? She doesn't mind it so much knowing you're here. Anyway, I'll be here if you get any more time off today.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Pardon the interruption, folks.
Huh? Oh, what can I do for you?
Pleasure to meet you, sir. And madam, my name is Alfred Banks, but please call me Alfie.
How do you do, Alfie? The name's Richard Burns, but everyone calls me Curly. Over there's my wife, Mabel Cody.
Pleasure's all mine, Mr. Banks.
Are you folks from down here originally?
Nah, we're just traveling around with our act.
Your act?
Sure, ain't you heard of Mabel Cody's Flying Circus?
I'm afraid I haven't. Please, tell me about it.
Why, it's the most exciting and daring show you'll see all year. We got a biplane which flies unbelievably low to the ground, and Mabel walks across the wings. We've been touring all across the state, impressing crowds in the hundreds.
Sounds exciting. Are you for hire?
Always. Who's interested?
Have you ever heard of George Merrick?
The guy who's developing this area? Sure.
Well, he's in need of a spectacle to entertain crowds he's planning on bringing in from out of state. I think your flying circus would fit the bill perfectly.
Sounds good. But don't forget about our little issues, Curly.
Of course.
Is there a problem?
A couple, actually. But really, they're more minor setbacks than problems. Our pilot just quit to get married, so we haven't got anyone to fly our plane. Then there's the plane itself, which got a bit damaged during the last show. And of course, the small issue of requiring payment in advance. But we could still talk business. These are just minor setbacks that can be easily resolved, I'm sure.
You say you haven't got a pilot?
Well, at the moment, no. Like I said, our guy quit last week.
I heard there's a pretty good pilot in town, but we haven't been able to get a hold of him.
Oh, yeah, Flynn or something like that. If we could get him on board, that would be just ducky.
What's wrong with your plane?
Nothing too serious. It's being worked on right now. The mechanic said it should be ready by next week.
I don't know if Mr. Merrick wants to wait that long. Where's the plane now? Maybe I can see about speeding up the process.
It's over at the airfield near Granada Boulevard.
About your payment.
Of course. Our fee is $50 up front. That gets you a full show, which lasts 30 minutes.
I'm afraid I haven't got that kind of money on me. I'll have to ask Mr. Merrick about it.
Sure, not a problem. Just let us know when you've got the dough.
I appreciate your time.
No sweat, pal.
Hello there, my good man.
Yes, sir?
Curly and Mabel sent me to check up on things. How long before this beauty is up in the sky again?
Shouldn't be more than a week. I'm kind of stuck waiting right now. There isn't much else I can do at the moment.
What is it you're waiting on?
I have 2 parts on their way. One's a piece for the rudder, and the other's a magneto for the engine.
What about this magneto you mentioned?
The magneto for the ignition is damaged, and I'm waiting on a replacement to come in.
What sort of engine is it?
Curtiss OX5. Fairly common engine in these types of planes. Some boats, too. Unreliable piece of junk, really. But they mostly get the job done.
Any idea where I'd be able to get one?
Order from the manufacturer like I did. Aside from that, any place where there's lots of planes or boats would have them in spades.
I think that gives me an idea. By the way, where is the magneto usually found on the engine?
Right at the bottom in front. Can't miss it.
How badly is the rudder damaged?
See for yourself. Looks like something took a bite out of it.
So what are you waiting on to fix it?
A new rudder top. Should be here in a few days.
Is there anything that might be used as a substitute?
Any decent-sized wooden plank would do in a pinch, sure.
You look awfully young to be an airplane mechanic. How long have you been doing this for?
6 months next week. But I've been working on planes since I was a kid. My father was an airplane mechanic during the war, see? So he taught me everything he knew.
I'll let you get on with it.
See ya.
Would you mind terribly if I borrowed one of your wrenches?
Not as long as you bring it back, I don't. I can't say I blame you for wanting to borrow it. That clunker looks like it needs to be serviced pretty soon.
Welcome to the Dinner Key Marina, sir. Please let me know if I can be of any assistance.
Hello there.
Fine day for it. What can I do for you?
Don't you get uncomfortable standing out in this heat wearing dark clothing?
You get used to it after a while. And besides, there's a nice sea breeze that comes in every so often. Keeps things cool.
I suppose there are worse places to be standing around.
Yep, that there are.
This marina doesn't seem to have many boats.
Yes, well, hasn't been a commercial marina very long. It was taken over for naval operations during the war. But we're steadily getting more people coming in. My guess is people will be fighting for space within the next year or so.
That's certainly an interesting contraption at the end of the dock there, isn't it?
What, the hydroplane? Yes, it's definitely something to look at. It's been docked there for quite a while now. I actually can't remember seeing who brought it in. Shame, really. I'd like to ask the owner about it. Really quite a fascinating piece of machinery.
I'll just be on my way.
Have a nice day, sir. Hey now, don't be fooling around with that.
Got a moment, Wilson?
Of course, Banks. What can I do for you?
Say, you've been around all morning. Did you happen to notice a model streetcar on Doc's desk?
Oh,
Is something wrong?
Banks, you have to promise me you won't say anything.
All right, mum's the word. What's the problem?
When Doc left earlier, I noticed the model streetcar on his desk. I went to get it so I could go after him and let him know he left it behind. But I accidentally knocked it on the floor and, well, the little antenna it had on it broke off. I feel terrible about it, but there's nothing I can do.
Oh, is that all? Don't worry about it. Let me have the model and I'll see about fixing it. And don't worry, Doc will be none the wiser.
Thank you, Banks. I owe you one.
See you around. George,
Yes, Alfie?
how's everything coming along?
Wonderfully. Thank you for asking. Clearly, you can see progress by way of the new office, but we're also expanding to larger projects. I've got my head architect designing a luxury pool, and our largest project is in the initial phase.
What exactly is this mysterious project I keep hearing about?
It'll be announced soon. I just need to iron out some details. But it will be worth the wait, I can assure you.
I think there might be something wrong with the car you gave me.
Oh? Has it given you any trouble?
It just sort of makes this clunking noise sometimes.
I was told it was in perfectly acceptable working order. Oh well, as long as it gets you around, you'll be all right.
I think I may have found your spectacle.
Wonderful. What is it?
Mabel Cody's Flying Circus. She's a wing walker, does all kinds of stunts apparently.
Sounds like a terrific find. Well done.
There's just one thing. She and her husband require payment in advance.
I see. How much?
$50 for a 30-minute show.
Reasonable enough, I suppose. You'll have to take the money out of our business account. Just head over to the Bank of Coral Gables and tell them I sent you to withdraw the money.
That's all for now.
Welcome to the Bank of Coral Gables. How may I help you, sir?
I need to withdraw some money.
Thank you for banking with us, sir. Have a pleasant day.
I'll try my best.
Everyone with their hands up! This is a robbery! I said put your hands up!
Now, just a minute. There's really no need for this.
Shut up, Mac. Nobody asked you to talk. Just put your hands up and hand over the dough.
Now, if you'll just listen for a moment.
Well, what are you playing at, bucko? I ain't got time to chat. Just hand over your dough before the boys in blue get here, will ya?
What do you think this is? Playtime? You just come in here, waving a gun around, demanding everyone put their hands up? Have you even done this before?
No, as a matter of fact, I haven't. But this ain't about my personal life. This is about you handing over your money.
Is this really what you want to be doing with your life? Robbing banks? Surely things can't be so bad that you have to turn to a life of crime.
What do you know, huh? You got no idea about my life. Times ain't so glamorous for everyone, you know. Just 'cause you get to parade around in fancy suits doesn't mean it's the same for everyone else. Now quit trying to distract me and just hand over your cash.
You talk tough, but I bet you've never even fired a gun before.
You shut up, you hear me? I don't gotta take this from you. I've shot plenty of guys. You don't even compare to half of them.
Okay, enough talking. So, what's it gonna be?
Okay, fine. I don't know what I was thinking coming in here. but there's gotta be another way.